We had a time with it. I had a 1967 Chevy 2. Marshall, in the 1967 Chevy 2, Melanie and I weren't married yet. I was still working at car by then. So I bought the new car. I traded a 65 Chevy van in. I bought off of Don Samples when I worked at Clinton Lumber. Then I went to work at Carbide. I bought a brand new 67 Chevy 2, traded the van in on it. Marshall and I were driving down Hurricane Creek Road one time from my house, and before we got to the intersection, down to the bridge, the road was icy, and I come around the curve too fast, and the front end slid into the ditch.
Oh.
And Marshall got out. I think he was maybe 16, if that. He got out, and Marshall was pretty strong when he was younger. He got out and put his feet against the bank. That's how far the front wheels were dangling over the edge of the ditch. And he got his feet against the bank and pushed the car while I'm backing up and spinning, but he pushed it back out in the road and straightened it out, and we went on.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't believe he did that, but he did.
Yeah.
Then we went merrily on our way, and then I don't remember where we went after that. But that's backtracking.
Well, I remember a story about that van you said that you had, that you traded in.
Okay,
and wasn't Marshall riding with you? And
yeah.
Then there was somebody, his friend, walking alongside the road?
Right. Marshall and I went fishing up Clay County, Evans Roadside Park, and we were coming back down 119 and got to the Clendenin Bridge. And before we got to it, there was a guy right going where the car dealership was. Two guys was pushing a car was stalled, and they were pushing it down to the dealership, and one guy was steering it. They'd run out of gas, I guess. And so Marshall opened the van door or rolled the window down, and we got even with the car where they were shoving, and Marshall hit the side of the van with his hand hit the door off hard and screamed, and we went on. And he said, and those guys, the driver of the car jumped out and run back there to see if we heard anybody, and he had to run and he had to chase the car down to put the brake on. So then we went on back up towards the house, and we were going passing Buffalo, and there was a friend of ours, Jim. Anyway, he was walking on the opposite side of the road. No, he was walking towards us. That's what it was. He was on the side walking towards the passenger side. So he was waving at us, and when we got even with him, Marshall waved at the same time. This wasn't planned, and it was an accident. He hit Jim's arm. They both had. Marshall had a big handprint on his arm, and Jim. We looked back in the rearview mirror, and Jim was going. He spun around 2 or 3 times and fell down. We went on.
I'm surprised Marshall didn't break his arm.
No, neither one of them, just bruised up. We got back to school, and he was talking to him about it. And Jim Burdett, that's who it was. And that was a fun time.
Well, those are some good memories.
Yeah, there's some good memories. I used to take Marshall fishing, okay. So there's a lot more stories, but
we'll save them for another time.
Some of the memories of me growing up, and helping or destroying my siblings. I don't know what you want to call it, but we had some times, and we were all living. Terry finally learned how to drive, I guess. Then he joined the Air Force later on.
Well, thanks for watching today. We'll go ahead and call it right there, Dad. And tell everybody thank you. Tell everybody like and follow, and we love them.
Thank you very much for watching, and I love you, and I survived all that. I survived 9 kids.
All right, y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.